One Direction. Bring them back. Bring them back. No? Alright, just me. Hey everyone, I am Nate and welcome back to Planet One Up. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the top 10 things that we in this office are most excited for in regards to Marvel Phase 4. Before we jump into the video, please make sure you like, subscribe and hit the bell icon just down here. It is now time though for the top 10. In at number 10 is WandaVision. You might be thinking that the name of this web TV series is a little weird, but it is actually based on the Marvel comic of the same name. The TV series will take place as a sequel to Avengers Endgame and will be overlapping with elements of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange is also on this list, but where do you think it is positioned? Let us know in the comment section down below. At the moment, we don't know the plot of the TV series, but we know that Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen will be returning as the Vision and Scarlet Witch. We can expect to see this in the autumn of 2021. In at number 9 is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Very little is known about this web TV series based on the comics of the same name, but we do know that the first season will premiere in August of next year. Anthony Mackie will be returning as Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, and Sebastian Stan will be returning as Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. There is one other person who has been cast that we're aware of, and that is Daniel Brühl as Helmut Zemo. For those who don't know, this character has already been seen in Avengers Civil War, and was the character responsible for framing the Winter Soldier for the assassination of T'Chaka, the father of Black Panther. He was later arrested, so it is going to be interesting to see his involvement in this new series. Regardless, we also know that the setting for this is going to be in the world post-Avengers Endgame. In at number 8 is Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the 5th and final web TV series that is going to be part of the Phase 4 Marvel Cinematic Universe that will be premiering in the spring of 2021. Jeremy Renner is, of course, coming back as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, but that is all that has been released so far. Well, we also know that it is going to be a sequel to Avengers Endgame and is going to be following the comics too, like the other series we've mentioned on this list. There is a role that is yet to be filled yet though, and that is of Kate Bishop. For those who don't know, Kate is a member of the Young Avengers and is the 3rd character and first female to take on the name of Hawkeye after following in Clint Barton's footsteps. It's going to be interesting to see how these two characters interact and how smooth of a transition it will be as the name of Hawkeye is passed from one to the other. In at number 7 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is the first movie to make it to our list, with the American release happening on the 12th of February 2021. Surprisingly, evidence for this storyline was actually shown in the very first MCU movie, Iron Man, as the terrorist network, and later on in Iron Man 3 with the presence of the Mandarin, who was also involved with Shang-Chi. However, the Mandarin, played by actor TREVOR Slattery, was actually a lie. This was later showcased in Marvel's All Hail the King one-shot from 2013, where the actor is broken out of prison to meet the real Mandarin after claiming that he wants his name back. There is still more information that is needed in regards to the plot and what is going to happen, but despite all of this, we should all be super excited to see this, especially if you're in Sydney and New South Wales, because that is where the filming will be taking place. In at number 6 is What If? We're now back to web TV series with What If, an animated series that follows the comic book series of the same name. What If isn't a series about a new set of superheroes, but the stories of superheroes that we love already. The only difference is the key points of the history and life of a character have been changed. Some of the volumes include What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four, and What If Tony Stark had been a traitor. Each volume usually looks at a particular point within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like the attack on Manhattan, and makes slight adjustments to see just what would happen. I'm super curious to see how all of this turns out. In at number 5 is Loki. I'm low-key upset with the font that they used for this movie. Premiering in the autumn of 2021, this 6-episode series will be following Loki after the events of Avengers Endgame. For those of you who haven't seen Endgame, you might be thinking that Loki died in Infinity War, so how is there going to be a series about him? Spoiler warning. During some mistakes that occurred during the Avengers time-traveling adventures to get the stones before Thanos, Loki escapes with the Tesseract. Where though is completely unknown. We're hoping that all of this will be addressed in the series, with Tom Hiddleston returning to reprise the role of Loki. In at number 4 is The Eternals. We're now back into movies with the Eternals. If you're not aware of this franchise, that's okay, but you should be excited with a cast list that includes Angelina Jolie as Thena, Richard Madden as Icarus, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, and Salma Hayek as Ajak. The Eternals are a different evolutionary path to that of humans, and were somewhat created by the Celestials to be defenders of the Earth. This, however, was not entirely the case, with another offset being created and becoming their counterpart, the Deviants. First appearing in the Eternals #1 in July of 1976, we can look forward to their very own feature film hitting the big screen on November 6, 2020. In at #3 is Black Widow. So far, we have seen a majority of the films being set after the events of Avengers Endgame, but the new Black Widow film that will be released in the United States on May 1st, 2020 will take place after Captain America Civil War and before Avengers Infinity War. Recap. Captain America Civil War saw a massive tear between members of the Avengers, so much so that they, in part, disbanded. Some went into hiding, some tried to live a normal life, and some were watched heavily by the government. The premise of the movie is apparently going to be about Natasha Romanoff being forced to deal with some of the decisions that she made in her past. In at #2 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. One of the interesting aspects of this film is that even though, like most on this list, is a sequel to Avengers Endgame, it is going to be a crossover and sequel to the web TV series WandaVision. Unfortunately, the title of this film isn't a throwback to a pre-existing comic book series, so all we can do is speculate and guess what the movie is going to be about. Some theories are bouncing around the internet about the movie and what it could be about. Some say it could involve a powerful villain of the dream dimension called Nightmare, or the invasion of Shuma-Gorath from the Cancerverse, or something that we can't even comprehend. Regardless, this is something we should all be looking forward to, with this movie being described as the first true horror movie in the MCU. Before we reveal what #1 is, what have you thought of this list so far? What are you excited to see in Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let us know in the comment section down below, but it is now time for #1. In at #1 is Thor: Love and Thunder. Of course this was going to be our #1. Who wouldn't be excited for another Taika Waititi directed Thor movie? Or the fact that Natalie Portman as Jane Foster will be getting her very own hammer to become the mighty Thor? Or that Tessa Thompson will return as Valkyrie, the new king of Asgard, and be the first major LGBTQ character of the MCU. There are so many positive things associated with this film, and that's just from the initial announcement. The plot hasn't even been revealed. You can bet though that I'll be there on the day when it is released, with the US release happening on November 5th, 2021. And that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon just down here so you're notified when we upload more content. I'm Nate, this is Planet One Up, and we'll see you all next time. Bye! If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out these, as well as head on over to the channel to subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Just go now. Go do it. Net, please. I'd really like it too.